my makeup artist, my family members. He left a voicemail for my producer.
Here's what all of their posts looked like yesterday. As you can see, calling her a demon multiple different times, using practically the exact same words.
Is what led to the coordinated attacks where we had Dan Bongino calling for physical violence against Candace Owens, claiming that Candace Owens should be tortured in hell.
I get Israel, I get the Jews, I get it, I understand. You think it's my first rodeo with you dipshits? I know exactly what you're doing.
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
What if the real story isn't the documentary, but the reaction to it? What if the loudest outrage is actually the biggest clue? Because the moment Candace Owens dropped her new series, something strange happened. Not debate. Not fact-checking. A full-blown pile-on. They posted photos of her manager's infant daughter, her makeup artist, family members. Voicemails flooded in. And then came the language. The same word, over and over again. Demon. Evil. Demonic. Different accounts. Different platforms. Practically identical phrasing. And here's the part people can't ignore. It all happened at the exact same time.
You go yourself. You demonic f***ing scum. This just can't be what this movement is. And if it is, I just don't want any part of it. You motherfucker. You deserve to feel the little licks of the flames of hell on every inch of you.
What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel.
What is that?
They was complicit, if not in the murder of Charlie Kirk, then in the cover-up of the murder of Charlie Kirk. This is the stuff that Candace Owens has been doing. She is a conspiratorial, evil person because that's who would do something like this. Because what she's doing is evil. And when you watch her show, she gets paid to do that evil. She is making money off the murder of Charlie Kirk by literally implicating his widow and everyone else at TPUSA in that murder, and then trying to dig up pseudo dirt on the wife of the person who was murdered. I don't know what to call that other than evil trash. Candace Owens is an evil, twisted.
Candace says she's under attack for exposing Erika Kirk in her docu-series Bride of Charlie. That's her claim. And according to online reports, some influencers were allegedly approached with offers of money to push a narrative painting her as evil before the series even gained traction. That allegation has not been proven in court. But the timing? That's what has people talking. Because if someone's wrong, you argue the facts. You don't launch a synchronized character demolition. So why the coordinated push to discredit her before viewers could even press play? And that's where it gets messy.
He would love for me to be angry. He would love it. He would love it. Because it would distract me from building what Charlie entrusted to me, raising our babies, turning point, being there for the team, being there for what the future.
A leaked internal email, reportedly from Turning Point USA, allegedly instructed staff to frame Candace as evil and demonic across social media. The authenticity of that email has been disputed, and no official confirmation has validated it publicly. But critics noticed something else. Shortly after that email surfaced online, major voices began using the exact same language on air. Dan Bongino publicly condemned Candace using that same framing. That part is confirmed. It's on record. What's disputed is whether there was coordination behind the scenes. Bongino has not admitted to any organized effort. But observers pointed out the overlap in rhetoric. And then Ben Shapiro weighed in. Again on record, calling Candace evil and accusing her of pushing conspiratorial claims regarding Charlie Kirk's death. Those statements are documented. What is not proven is any centralized orchestration tying all of this together. But when identical messaging spreads across platforms within hours, people start asking questions. And that question is simple. Coincidence or strategy? Because Candace didn't just criticize Erika. She questioned the official narrative surrounding Charlie Kirk's K-Ling. She suggested inconsistencies in the FBI's version of events. Those are her claims. They remain unproven. No court has validated them. But they ignited something.
So Lori, she runs a few companies like E3 Tech, AZ Tech, and G Tech. And on their websites, they describe projects in border protection, semiconductors, disaster prediction, dual fuel vehicle technology, even NASA Mars experiments. And remember, Raytheon partnered with Israel's Rafael to build the Iron Dome missile defense system. At the very core of that technology are advanced semiconductors, the same kind of tech Lori's companies claim to work with, and they were contracted with them. And I want to be very clear that she does not have any contracts with Rafael, but she has had contracts with Raytheon. And here's where I feel like everything comes full circle, because in 2025, Donald Trump himself pushed for building what he called a gold dome over America, modeled directly after Israel's Iron Dome. That's from his own speeches and the White House.
Now here's where it shifts. According to posts circulating on X, some influencers allegedly admitted they were offered money to criticize Candace. One influencer with over 2 million followers publicly stated he declined payment to attack her. That post exists. What isn't verified is who, specifically, made the offer. Names have been thrown around online, but no documented financial trail has been produced publicly. Still, if there's nothing to hide, why escalate this aggressively? Erika has publicly stated she doesn't want to engage with conspiracies and prefers focusing on her family and organization. That statement is confirmed from her own remarks. So critics are asking, if that's true, why not ignore the series entirely? Why risk amplifying it? Because here's the twist no one expected. The Bride of Charlie exploded. Millions of views in days. Episode after episode climbing rapidly. That's measurable. That's public data. And instead of silencing Candace, the backlash may have fueled her. But this isn't just about views. It's about narrative control. And when narrative control slips, panic sets in. Which brings us to the missing year. According to Candace's research in the series, Erika appeared to step away from public life around 2008 after winning a pageant title in 2007. Candace labels this a missing school year. Erika, in an old interview that has since reportedly been deleted, described locking herself away for roughly 8 months for spiritual reflection. That clip has circulated online. The interpretation of it, however, is where speculation begins.
Established the Everyday Heroes Foundation, which was supposed to help children in need. That was established in Arizona under Erika's mother's name, Lori Francevy. What they decided to do, as charities do, is that they developed certain projects and certain missions, and what spun out from Lori's charity was the Romanian Angels Project. And they got this deal with the military. They worked with the military in Romania to help orphans, okay? Now, it is a fact that they worked with, at that time, Colonel Otto Buscher. Colonel Otto Buscher was then accused of running a brothel with young...
Candace suggests the period raises questions. Online commentators have gone further, speculating about possible training or intelligence connections. Those claims are purely speculative and not supported by court findings or official investigations. No evidence has been publicly presented proving any covert involvement. But the curiosity persists because of Erika's family background. Erika's mother, Lori France, has been linked to companies working in defense-adjacent industries. Semiconductors, border technology, disaster systems. Public records show contracts with Raytheon in past years. There is no confirmed contract with Rafael. That distinction matters. Still, observers draw connections between defense tech, military partnerships, and political influence. And then, shortly after resurfacing from that hermit period, Erika helped launch the Romanian Angels Initiative in partnership with U.S. military personnel. That partnership is documented. What followed, however, is darker territory. A U.S. Army colonel associated with operations in that region was later accused of running a brothel involving minors. Those accusations were reported. The legal outcomes and full findings are complex and separate from Erika's charity work. There is no public evidence proving she had knowledge of or involvement in those alleged crimes. But critics argue the association alone raises uncomfortable questions. And here's where the tension spikes again. Turning Point USA reportedly brings in hundreds of millions in donations annually. As a non-profit, it does not pay federal income tax. That's standard for non-profits. What critics debate is transparency. Financial audits have been discussed publicly, though no court has ruled wrongdoing regarding misuse of funds. Candace's supporters argue that if she continues digging, the fallout could stretch far beyond Erika. Her critics say she's monetizing tragedy with unproven accusations. Both narratives are alive. Neither has been legally settled. But when identical language spreads overnight, when influencers claim payment offers, when a documentary triggers a synchronized backlash, people start connecting dots. Are those dots real? Or are they being arranged to look that way? That's the question no one can answer yet. Because if this really was just a baseless conspiracy, why not let it fade? Why mobilize? Why risk amplifying it to millions? And if Candace is wrong, what would definitive proof actually look like? So now I'm asking you, is this a coordinated smear campaign against her, or a justified response to dangerous allegations? And more importantly, who benefits most from controlling the story?